How's it going, film nerds? My name is Ryan Walsh. Avengers 4 is probably one of the most anticipated movies of 2018, or should I call it, after the latest trailer release, Avengers Endgame is what it's now titled as. For the last couple months, Marvel has been keeping the title for this next movie completely top secret, even though months ago, fans already knew exactly what the title was. So if you're thinking that this is a little weird that Marvel would still keep the title a secret even though fans already knew, well, you're not alone in that, because I think the exact same thing, and that's why I think Avengers Endgame is a lie. I think the title for the next Avengers movie is not Avengers Endgame, and I think there's another title out there for this Avengers 4 movie that Marvel has been keeping under our noses this entire time, and they have been lying to us all. Now, I know exactly what you all are thinking. You're thinking to yourselves, this guy's crazy. There's no way that Marvel would actually keep this title a secret. What do they have to gain from that? Well, after going through a bunch of research, I think I have a lot of evidence to back myself up on why this title might be completely fake and why we might get another one in the near future. So just hear me out. I think you might be surprised by the end of this video. Also, on this channel, I do weekly movie theories, so if you're new here, consider subscribing and turning on the bell notification. Now, let's take this back about 6 months ago, all the way back in June, just a little over a month after the release of Avengers Infinity War, when the Avengers 4 title was really getting talked about, and a lot of people were speculating on what the title might have been. And honestly, yeah, I might have been one of those people as well. I personally thought it was either going to be Avengers Annihilation or even Avengers Assemble, because I thought both those titles would really fit with the next movie. But despite all the guessing for that title, a really funny thing happened that month that I personally didn't even think about when watching the Avengers Endgame trailer. When looking back in June, we can see that the cinematographer Trent Opalock, he's worked closely with Joe and Anthony Russo. They have worked together and had that cinematographer on all of their movies that they've done with Marvel, including the newest Avengers 4 movie. And back in June, people went on his website to go look at his latest cinematography job, and that was actually Avengers 4. But the thing is that's really funny about this is that he changed the name of Avengers 4 to Avengers Endgame for just a slight amount of time, not thinking that he was going to be leaking out the title himself. So knowing that he did leak out the title, he actually changed it back to Avengers 4. So people were really just guessing that this was going to be the title in the coming months, and they were totally right. But the thing that's really been boggling my mind about this entire topic is, why didn't Marvel just come out with the title months ago? People were already talking about it online and were well aware of this title for the movie. So if I were them, I honestly would just release the title. It's not like it really spoils anything for the fans, right? Well, that really got me thinking about this, and really looking at past experiences with Marvel and them keeping secrets about their movies. This really got me wrapped around this whole concept of them lying about this title. For most of their movies, they do a great job of keeping these secrets until the movie comes out, so nobody gets spoiled for the movies. Unless it's Mark Ruffalo or Tom Holland, usually those two actors are the ones to spoil everything about the movie. I mean, Mark Ruffalo literally spoiled the ending to Infinity War a year before the movie was even released.
Wait till you see this next one. Everybody dies. Not everybody. No.
But at the same time of keeping all those secrets completely secret, when something isn't that big of a secret in the movie, usually Marvel is talking about it and they're excited to talk about it with the fans. And up to this point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, none of the titles have been completely secret. Everyone has really known the title, because usually it's not that big of a deal to know what the title is going to be for a particular Marvel movie. So this really just makes me think that Marvel is hiding something from this title, that Avengers Endgame is not the real title, and it makes me think that there's another title out there that if they release the real title, it would reveal something really spoilery. And let's face it, Avengers Endgame, that doesn't spoil anything about the movie, so why is that a big secret? The only things that it really has references to in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is when Tony Stark said it to the Avengers in Avengers Age of Ultron.
That up there, that's the Endgame.
And then Doctor Strange said it before he faded away at the ending of Infinity War.
We're in the Endgame now.
So there's absolutely no real reason for Marvel to keep this title under wraps. It just doesn't make any sense. So there just has to be another title out there that's going to contain some spoilers for the movie. But of course, that's not really enough evidence to really say that there's a secret title. That's just really speculating from there. So I really have been doing more digging on this and finding anything from the comic books to just the marketing of Avengers Infinity War, or even just looking through Avengers Infinity War itself. And the only thing that I was able to find was a recent release of an Avengers Infinity War novel called The Cosmic Quest. The events of this book is meant to be in between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And by the looks of the Avengers Endgame trailer, it looks like that both movies don't take place too far apart. It looks like one happens right after the other one. And the novel itself is going to be following two key characters, which is Dr. Eric Selvig and Darcy from the original Thor movies. And when looking at this book, it's not like anything within the book itself tells us anything about Avengers 4, but looking at the back of this book, there's a summary on the back. The book talks about the post-snap and goes on about a new foe who threatens to destroy them all is looming. And we know this isn't Thanos that they're talking about when we're looking at this phrase, because Thanos is already mentioned within the summary before this line even happens. Now, this could be just a threat that Darcy and Dr. Eric Selvig are going to face during this book, and that's all they're really talking about. But, you know, I found some further evidence to really say that there's going to be a secret villain in Avengers 4 when we look at some toys. And of course, toys always spoil everything for these movies. Everyone knows that whenever the latest Lego sets come out, or even just action figures, they usually give a good amount of spoilers. And Marvel so far has done a pretty good job of not releasing any toys for Avengers Endgame thus far. But looking back at these toy leaks that happened 2 months ago, and it's not like any toys in particular, instead it's just the back of the packaging. And on the back of this, it really just shows Rocket Raccoon and Thor in some weird space or quantum realm suits. We don't really know, but honestly, I'm thinking that it's going to be some quantum realm stuff because of what happened in Ant-Man the Wasp post-credit scene. But honestly, that's not what's interesting about this. Really looking into the summary itself, that's what's interesting about this. And when you're really looking at this leaked summary, it isn't really easy to make out, but of course the fans never let us down, and they have gone through it, and some of them have been able to make out what these words really are saying, and they read as: the Asgardian Thor wields the mighty Stormbreaker in the battle against new foes. Rocket teams up with a new crew to guard the galaxy from an even greater threat. Now, that's a big coincidence to really have within two summaries of a toy packaging and a novel. And honestly, the odds of both of these summaries not lining up with the Avengers Endgame storyline is pretty slim. And really tying this back with the title, I think not only is there going to be a secret villain within the movie, but the secret villain is somehow connected to the real Avengers 4 title that Marvel is trying to make sure that nobody gets spoiled of this secret villain. So instead, they decided to come up with a fake title, which was Avengers Endgame. But now this really begs the question, who could this secret villain be? Well, this is something where I think they're trying to keep it top secret, because everyone is going into Avengers Endgame thinking Thanos is going to be the big bad guy. Everyone is going after Thanos himself. But a lot of fans were speculating that the title was going to be Avengers Annihilation because of the secret villain being a nihilist. Now, this is all speculation and there's no proof behind this, but it would make a lot of sense because a nihilist in the comic books is actually in the negative zone, a different dimension than Earth 616, which is basically just the original Marvel universe. And really looking at the movies, you could just say that Annihilus was from the quantum realm instead of the negative zone, because the quantum realm is already within the movies. And we know from that post-credit scene in Ant-Man and the Wasp that the quantum realm is going to be taking some part in this Avengers 4 movie. So they could have tied it that way. But the only problem with this is that Fox owns the rights to that character, and the Disney and Fox deal isn't supposed to be going through until 2019. So the movie's already filmed and already planned out, and right now it's in post-production phase. So I don't think they're going to be having a nihilist within that movie. So I don't think that's true, even though Avengers Annihilation would be a great title. But even if we don't have a title, I think this really just proves that there's another title out there that's not Avengers Endgame. There's another real title saying something about this secret villain for Avengers 4. Sure, Marvel could stick it out with this Endgame title and we could all be wrong, but I'm willing to believe that within Marvel's think tank that the Avengers 4 title once did reveal who the Avengers 4 villain was going to be. And this is why they kept it secret for so long. But of course, if you enjoyed this movie theory and you guys want more, definitely check out this video right over here. But of course, thank you all very much for watching, and embrace your inner film nerd. Bye-bye.